Eleanor had been sitting in the same chair in the same salon every 6 weeks for almost 20 years, telling her stylist the same 3 words: just trim it. Then her stylist moved away, and the new woman standing behind the chair did something nobody had done in 2 decades. She lifted Eleanor's chin toward the mirror, studied her for a long moment, and said, "I don't think anyone has actually looked at your face in years, only your hair." That one sentence changed everything. 20 minutes later, Eleanor walked out with soft layers framing her cheekbones, and when she got home, her daughter didn't recognize her from the doorway. That's the kind of moment we're talking about today. Welcome back to Ageless Sophistication, the channel for women who know that elegance doesn't have an expiration date and who refuse to let their hairstyle quietly go out of date without a fight. Before we get into it, if you're new here, consider hitting subscribe, not because I need the number to go up, but because this is a place for women who believe 60 and beyond deserves just as much thought, care, and beauty as any other decade. If that's you, you're exactly where you belong. Now, let's talk about 7 haircuts worth considering, and more importantly, the quiet fear behind each one that keeps so many of us stuck in the same style year after year. The first is a soft, feathered pixie, and I already know what's running through your mind. You're picturing something severe, something that might read as harsh rather than elegant. That fear almost always comes from picturing the wrong version. A blunt, choppy pixie can feel unforgiving, but a feathered one, where the ends are cut with movement rather than a straight line, behaves completely differently. It lifts softly at the crown, which gently draws the eye upward, and instead of looking bare, the exposed neckline reads as refined and intentional. This shape flatters oval and heart-shaped faces beautifully. If your face leans rounder or more square, a soft side fringe keeps everything balanced. You'll want to trim roughly every month, but here's the quiet upside. Styling takes barely 2 minutes most mornings, so what you save in time and product tends to even out what you spend on the extra visits. The second is a soft shag with curtain layers, the very style Eleanor walked out with. The worry here is usually that a shag will look undone, like you've stopped putting in effort. But a well-cut shag isn't messy by accident. It's layered with real intention, starting near the cheekbones and easing downward. Paired with curtain bangs that part gently at the center, the eye is drawn diagonally across the face, instead of stopping flat at the forehead. That diagonal movement softens forehead lines and quietly disguises thinning near the crown at the same time. It flatters round, square, and heart-shaped faces especially well, needs a trim about every 8 weeks, and grows out so gracefully that you're never trapped in that awkward stage that sends you rushing back to the salon early. Third is a chin-length bob with a deep side part. If you've worn a bob before and felt underwhelmed, the fear is assuming you already know what it can do for you. But most bobs disappoint because of the part, not the length. A center part draws a straight line across the widest point of your face. Shift that same bob to a deep side part, and suddenly there's diagonal volume at the crown, softening the jawline without cutting a single inch. This one suits oval, heart, and square faces especially well. Needs a trim about every 6 to 8 weeks, and if your hair has gone silver or gray, that deep part lets the light catch it in a way a flat part simply can't, giving you natural highlights you never have to pay for. Now, quickly, tell me something. Out of those first 3, which one feels completely comfortable to you, and which one feels like a genuine stretch? Be honest in the comments below. In my experience, the one that makes you a little nervous is usually the one that would change your whole look the most. And while you're there, go ahead and tap the like button too. It's a small thing, but it helps another woman your age actually find this video. 4 more to go, and I promise the next ones might surprise you even more. Haircut number 4 is a voluminous curly crop made for natural curls and waves. So many women with curls believe that as they age, the curls need to shrink shorter and tighter as a way of playing it safe. But cutting curls too short and too blunt is exactly what causes them to clump and lose their bounce. Layering, not shortening, is what brings curls back to life. The added volume softens the whole face, like a filter nobody can see you wearing. This shape adjusts to nearly any face shape, since the layering does the work for you. It needs a trim about every 8 to 10 weeks, and curls have a wonderful hidden advantage. They hide regrowth beautifully, so your appointments can often stretch longer than straight hair ever allows. Number 5 is a layered lob with subtle face-framing pieces, perfect for anyone who simply isn't ready to go shorter. A lob sits around the collarbone, so your length stays completely intact. The transformation comes from just a few lighter, brighter pieces placed near your face, working the way a beautiful pair of earrings does, drawing attention straight to your eyes and your smile. This length flatters long, oval, and rectangular faces especially well. Maintenance is refreshingly low, a trim about 10 to 12 weeks, and here's the real advantage. Those face-framing pieces only need a few foils instead of a full head of color, which can meaningfully lower your salon bill while still giving you that lifted, brightened effect. Haircut number 6 is a tapered crop with lift through the crown. The hesitation here is usually the belief that sharp, structured cuts only belong to younger women, but the lift at the crown is what does the real work, quite literally opening up the eyes and lifting the whole face, while the tapered sides remove weight that would otherwise pull everything downward. It suits heart, oval, and square faces beautifully, needs attention every 4 to 5 weeks, and styling afterward takes barely 5 minutes a day, which often balances out the more frequent visits. And finally, haircut number 7, face framing layers added to longer hair, the gentlest option on this entire list. This one is for anyone whose hesitation isn't about the style itself, but commitment. It barely touches your overall length. The layering happens only around the face, starting near the chin and blending softly downward. So from behind, your hair looks nearly unchanged, but from the front, it completely reshapes how your face reads. It works on almost every face shape, needs a trim every 8 to 10 weeks, and because it works with whatever texture you already have, it's often the easiest and most affordable style on this list to maintain at home between visits. So there you have it, 7 haircuts and 7 quiet fears most of us never say out loud. The real mistake was never choosing the wrong style. It was sitting back down in the same chair next month and saying the same 3 words you've said for years. Tell me in the comments which of these 7 you're bringing to your next appointment and what face shape you're working with. Someone reading your comment might finally book the appointment they've been putting off for far too long. And if this video helped you see your hair, and maybe yourself, a little differently, give it a like, subscribe to Ageless Sophistication, and I'll see you in the next one.